Okay, we're going to do another quick episode of Legally Raven Hair question, like people ask on how do you file a Medicare appeal. So I am helping with sorry, we're doing a little moving. I'm helping with the last stage of appeal. So let's just talk about how many different levels of appeal. This is a case, and the purpose of the case was to ask Medicare to pay for medically necessary dental work. So if you disagree with your organization's determination, you start with your health plan. The appeal process has 5 levels. If you disagree with the decision made at any level in the process, you can generally go to the next level. At each level, you'll get instructions in the decision letter on how to move to the next level of appeal. So, level one is reconsideration from your plan. And if you disagree with the initial decision from your plan, also known as organizational determination, you or your representative can ask for a reconsideration, a second look, or review. You can ask for reconsideration within 60 days of the date of the organization's determination. If your appeal for service, if your appeal is for a service you haven't gotten yet, your doctor can ask for reconsideration on your behalf and must notify you about it. You, your representative, or your doctor must file a written standard or expedited fast request unless your plan allows you to file a request by phone, fax, or email. So and these are the information and the things that you need. So the first thing that you do is you start your plan. So that's level one. If it's denied again, then you can ask for a review by an independent review entity. Their name is Maximus, is who does it. And it's kind of interesting because Medicare is paid by the government and Maximus has a contract from the government. I don't know if it's with Health and Human Services, the same people who manage Medicare, but my personal opinion is there's some bias, right? Because they are paid for by Medicare, and I would think therefore incentivized to decide in terms of Medicare. But this is a neutral video just for information. So if your plan decides against your reconsideration, they must send you a notice that gives you specific reason for a full or partial denial. You may send an independent review agency information about your case. They must get this information within 10 days of the day you get the notice telling you your case has been sent um, to the independent review entity, and their address is on the notice, right? So you may want your doctor, other prescriber to request a pill on your behalf, and you will need to appoint a representative if that's what you want to do. You can ask for an expedited or fast request within 72 hours, a standard service request within 30 days, or a payment request within 60 days. So, okay. Yes, some IREs call themselves Part C, QIC. I forget what QIC stands for, but maybe Maximus isn't the only one. A case I recently assisted with, it was Maximus who was in charge of that. So that's step two. So you start with your plan and you go to an independent review agency. Okay. Then you go to three, which is decision of the Office of Medicare Hearings and Appeals. You may request a decision by the Office of Medicare Hearings and Appeals that's based on the hearing before an administrative law judge. I've been through this process, or in certain circumstances, a review of the appeal record by an ALG or an attorney adjudicator. So, a hearing before an ALG allows you to present your appeal to a new person who will independently review the facts of your appeal and listen to your testimony before making a new and impartial decision. An ALJ hearing is usually held by phone or by video conference. So, this is one thing I want to emphasize. Went through this process with someone, and we were automatically given a phone call. And so we had to push for the fact that we wanted to actually see them. The health plan, I understand that most times they show up. In this case, they did not show up. And even more so, when called by the judge, they said they were coming and they still did not show. So in order to do this, oh, but can also be held in person if the ALG finds that you have a good reason. You can ask the OMHA to make a decision without holding a hearing based only on the information that's in your appeal record. The ALG or attorney adjudicator may also issue a decision without holding a hearing if evidence in the hearing record supports a decision that is fully in your favor. To get a hearing or review by the Office of Medicare Hearings of Appeals, The amount of your case must be at a minimum dollar amount for 2022. The required minimum is $180. The reconsidered determination may include a statement that tells you if your case is estimated to meet the minimum dollar amount. However, it's up to the ALG to make the final decision. You may be able to combine claims in order to meet the minimum dollar amount. So follow the instructions on your Medicare reconsideration notice you got from the QIC, or I think it's qualified intermediary. I don't know what it stands for, but anyway, in level 2, to request a hearing before an ALG, you must send your request to the OMHA Central Operations. The address is listed in the QIC's reconsideration notice. So that is how you do that. So been through this part. So now what happened after that? Let me see if I can find it here. And I'm gonna just, okay, let me stop sharing and let me share this. Okay, so this is what happened. All the person's information is redacted, but they went to the ALG hearing and they the decision may be reopened within 180 calendar days from the date of the decision for good cause. Good cause exists when there is new and material evidence that was not available or known at the time of the decision and may result in a different conclusion, or when the evidence that was considered clearly shows that on its face an obvious error was made at the time of the decision. But if I disagree, if you disagree with the decision, may file an appeal with the Medicare Appeals Council. Other parties may also appeal the decision. In addition, the Medicare Appeals Council may decide to review the decision on its own motion. If no party appeals the decision and the Medicare Appeals Council does not review the decision is binding on all parties, and you and the other parties will not have the right to ask the federal court to review the decision. So if you've not already represented, you may appoint an attorney or another person to represent you. So that's the process that we're going to do now. This letter was dated January 31st. So February, March, April, May, June. We really got to get cracking on this. So we're going to see what we have to do, and then we can follow through the whole process, okay? So we don't have new information. We just believe on its face that this is something that should be covered. One of the things that I will say is that for medically necessary dental, we've talked to the Medicare Advocacy Organization in Washington, D.C., and they said that they have gotten it approved at the Administrative Law Judge hearing, and on their own, the Medicare Appeals Council has then denied it. So sometimes they can deny things, from what I understand, that is not in your favor without you even asking. So that's something just I wanted you to know. So now let me go back to here, and we're going to see exactly what we need to do before we run out of time to appeal this. So let's go back. So we're on appeal level 3. So there's 2 more levels of appeal, which I didn't realize. I thought we only had 1 more. So review by the Medicare Appeals Council. Okay, so fill out a request for review of an administrative law judge Medicare decision dismissal form. Submit a written request that includes your name and Medicare number, if you've appointed a representative, the specific items and their service and specific dates you're appealing. See your MSN or ALG hearing decision for that information. A statement identify the parts of the ALJ decision which you disagree with which you disagree, and an explanation of why you disagree. The date of the ALG decision. If you're requesting that your case be moved from the ALG to the Appeals Council because the ALG hasn't issued a timely decision, send the request to the OMH address listed on the QIC's reconsideration notice. Or if you know that your case was being assigned to a OMHA adjudicator, to the hearing officer in which the request of the hearing is pending. For more information about the Appeals Council review process, go to the Medicare Operations Division website. I mean, you have to be an attorney to understand all this stuff, which I am not. So I'm just going to look at this. So tomorrow, on tomorrow's episode of Legally Raven here, we are going to submit this form. And that is what we're going to do. Can you type on this? No, we have to print it out to do it. So we will print the form and upload it, and then we will take a look at it together, what we did. Or we'll talk about it, because actually this is going to have private information that needs to be redacted. All right, so we're going to do that. And then we also need to file out the appointed a representative right here. And we're going to fill out this form because I'm going to represent this person in this case. So We're going to fill this out and we're going to send it in. So that will be our law office study for tomorrow. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. This episode is on how do you file a Medicare appeal. Signing off. Goodbye. Questions like people ask. Tune in next time.